From an evolutionary standpoint, humans have traveled in groups because if we don't stick together, we are likely to be picked off by a predator. This happens all the time to animals in the wild, and it's why they always tend to travel together. And these groups, whether consisting of humans or animals, are something that you would call a herd. Now, one of the richest men of all time said that he is fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. But what does that actually mean? As humans, we have developed evolutionary instincts, meaning we have a set of primal instincts that are hardwired into our brains to keep us safe from danger. However, it is these same instincts that were designed to protect us that can become our biggest roadblock to getting rich and creating massive wealth for ourselves and our family. Humans form groups for basically everything that they do, and it's simply a primal, instinctive thing for us to do. This is precisely why when a bunch of investors see a stock soaring, they all go to buy it, just like the rest of the herd is doing. It's human nature to want to follow the herd, because for thousands of years, doing so has pretty much ensured our survival as a species. I want you to ask yourself a question. If you were lost out in the middle of a desert with 100 other people, the last thing that you would most likely want to do is break off from the herd, right? Now, the answer to this question is it depends. If those 100 other people that you were with were on their way to an oasis where there was plenty of water and food, and you knew for sure that you all would make it, then it would make sense in that situation to stay with the herd or to follow the herd. But what if you were actually smarter than most of the people within that group and you knew that they were all heading deeper into the desert rather than towards an oasis where they were certain to die? Would you still follow the herd then? Now, the problem with the herd mentality, which is actually a psychological concept, is that it only really works well for stupid people. Now, that's not to say that all people are stupid, but simply that when you get a large herd of people, typically intelligence goes out the window. This is why typically when you get large crowds of people, you end up with fights breaking out and lots of people end up doing really stupid things. One of the most valuable lessons that you can ever learn when it comes to money is that herd mentality is almost always a bad thing. Following a herd in a large desert is one thing, but following a herd for anything money related almost always ends in disaster for every single person within the group. People have so much trouble breaking away from the herd mentality because it is basically an evolutionary instinct that we have, and it can be really hard for us to resist our natural instincts as humans. And the problem with this herd mentality is that it is absolutely everywhere. Some people think that it only involves stocks or investments, but this is just not the case. Herd mentality can be incredibly sneaky, and it's that little voice that tells you to follow the herd of people who spend all of their money on manufacturing the image of being wealthy. And then before you know it, you're spending $10,000 per month on a massively huge house that you don't need, a speedboat, the latest iPhone, and an exotic sports car. I say this because I myself have followed the herd when I shouldn't have, although I've never actually owned a speedboat. One of the secrets to getting rich is not following the latest trends or the latest herd. It's not investing all of your life savings in Amazon FBA or some course that some guru on YouTube told you to buy. One of the greatest secrets of the rich is simply zigging when everybody else zags or carving your own path. People ask me all the time on this channel for specific ways that they can make a lot of money and get rich. And although I know where this question is coming from, the question itself is pretty useless. It's like asking the herd how to get rich. I personally can tell you how I make a lot of money, but even if you know every little detail about what I do, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be able to do it. And in fact, most people can't. The best thing that you can do is break off from the herd and do your own thing. After I quit my first job, I spent many years simply following the herd, and because of this, I made little to no money and always suffered the same fate as everyone else within that group. And it was only when I finally decided to break away from the group or break away from the herd that my life changed forever and money started pouring in. Now, the main reason why people have so much trouble breaking away is because it's scary and uncomfortable. There's a famous quote that says, "Do what others won't so you can live the life that others can't." The herd will never be able to live this kind of life because most are too scared to break away and do their own thing. When someone breaks away from the herd in high school, typically they get made fun of and people laugh at them and call them names. Well, they call them losers or whatever else they can think of to try and reinforce why they are still a part of the herd and why what you're doing is stupid. All of the scariest decisions that I've made in my life, where I broke away from the herd and did my own thing, are precisely the things that led me to where I am today. Now, I'm still not at the level of being able to fly private jets all around the world without ever thinking about the price. But the life that I live now is something that 99% of the population can only dream of living. And it's all because I zigged when everybody else zagged. It's because I fought back against my instinctual urge to follow the herd. And if you, the person watching this video right now, can do the same, you can achieve great things in your own life, such as massively increasing your income and your wealth. A famous quote says, "For the gate is narrow and the way is hard, and few will find it." But if you can do your own thing and break away from the herd and learn how to truly think for yourself, you can find the gate that most people will never find. And with that said, until next time, thanks for watching.